I've done lots of work with pregnant women over the years, and what I've found and developed is that there's practices in yoga that can really help you, not just in getting more comfortable in your pregnancy, but really helped you to develop pain management techniques for labor. And the principle of it is that you're using breathing exercises, but you're really noticing in some of the yoga positions, in some of the stretches, your response to the intensity of the sensation, to the intensity of the stretch. And what you can notice is that your habitual response to strong sensations might be the normal thing that we all do, is when you feel pain, you feel something really uncomfortable, the first thing you try and do is make the pain go away, so change the situation, change the position. If you can't make the pain go away, then what we tend to do is react by tensing, by holding on, by tightening up. And this is the worst thing you can do in labor, because when you tense and you hold on and you tighten up, you're actually increasing the pain and you're increasing the tension in your body, which then stimulates the stress response, the fear response. So you become more and more and more tense, afraid and anxious and wound up. Whereas what you want to be doing in labor is relaxing, calming, and really settling into the intensity, into the pain of the contractions, which takes practice. It's not something you can just do straight away. You need to kind of get used to this concept of relaxing into pain rather than tightening up. So I'll show you some different exercises that if you keep repeating them, keep practicing them, they make a huge difference. So you'll need a few props for this. What I use are these big kind of heavy bolsters. You might have something like this at home, that sort of height. If you don't, you can use a stack of cushions. So you need to set this up, so maybe 2 or 3 cushions, and feather ones are good actually because they're a bit more firm. And you get a blanket and kind of fold it over them, so you make this kind of sausagey bundle. So something like that will be fine. You also need a strap, so you might have a yoga strap. If you don't worry, you can use a cardigan, you can use a scarf, anything long that you can will work. So the best way to sit when you're doing kind of breathing practices when you're pregnant is to actually straddle something, so the bolster or your stack of cushions. So you sit over something rather than cross-legged. The reason is because a lot of women, 1 in 3 women will experience pelvic pain, so pelvic pain or hip pain, and this is caused by the opening of the pelvis, which is a good thing. The pelvis opens, but as it opens, it can become twisted or out of alignment, and that creates a lot of pain. So sitting with the ankles sort of cross-legged, knees apart, in most cases it's better not to, just because it can aggravate the kind of displacement in the pelvis. So sitting with the knees in line with the hips, sort of straddling something, is generally a lot better. You can sit up higher as well. You can put more cushions under your bum. So find a comfortable seat, and we'll just look at a little bit of a breathing practice, which is the breathing we're going to use now for some of these positions. So the principle here is just to breathe in through the nose and very gently, slowly out of the lips. When you focus on your exhale, the most important thing is to keep focusing on the exhale. That will help to stimulate and trigger you to go into sympathetic nervous system. So we have 2 branches of the nervous system. Sympathetic is the branch that we go into when we're afraid, when we're stressed, and it's the stress response. When you're afraid, you're stressed, you prepare to fight or flight, and your instinct is to breathe in and draw the breath in. What we want to do is go to the opposite, which is parasympathetic. So when you're relaxed and you're calm, you sort of sigh, you yawn, you like that. Releasing is the feeling of going into parasympathetic. So we want to really focus on the exhale and just keep lengthening the exhale. So the exhale becomes almost twice as long as the inhale. And if you can just keep coming back to your exhale throughout your labor, it will give you grounding, it will give you support, it will give you focus, and it will keep your nervous system going in the right direction, so you're avoiding getting stressed and afraid. So just rest your hands on your lap. Make sure you're comfortable. Take a slow breath in through the nose. Then purse the lips, so you make a very small opening in the lips. You might have to kind of pout a little bit and squeeze the lips as you gently blow a long stream of breath out of the lips. Long, slow exhale out of the lips. Then breathe in through the nose. And a long, slow breath out of a small opening in the lips. The smaller the opening in the lips, the longer it'll take you to exhale. And the more you'll be settling into your relaxed, calm part of the nervous system. So if you feel inclined to just kind of like let the mouth relax open and the breath come out quite quickly, this won't work as well. So really make the effort to make that really small little pursed opening in the lips. Take a few more breaths like that. Another breath and feel your whole body relaxing down as you breathe out, your whole body settling. And then bring your hands to your baby. Just a couple more breaths here where you actually feel your abdominal muscles contracting and relaxing, which is really good to stimulate your awareness down into your body and bring that connection to your baby. So when you're pregnant, you can kind of feel a little bit like you shouldn't be using your abdominal muscles. Somehow it might affect or disturb the baby, but it's really important to, and it's absolutely safe. Baby is fine. So it's like you're just squeezing your baby into just a gentle hug. So just hugging your baby on the exhale as your abdominal muscles come in. Then inhale, relax your belly forward. And exhale, draw your belly back. Inhale, relax your belly forward. Really feel this connection to baby. It might make baby move a little bit. Find a new position. Closing eyes and just really feel your breath and feel this connection to yourself, to your baby. Another breath there. And then from here, just slowly come out. We're going to come onto all fours and come back to that breathing. So move your support. Come onto all fours. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And take a few cat-cows. So we'll just start to warm up a little bit here. Inhale. Draw your chest and belly forward. Feel the front of the belly stretch. And then exhale. Tighten your tummy muscles again. Feel like you're actually lifting your baby, lifting the hammock around your baby up around the back. Inhale slowly. Drawing the chest forward, arching the back, heart open. And then lift your baby. Lift your belly, drawing up, rounding your back. Inhaling, chest forward. Opening up. Exhaling, rounding your back. And then make some circles. So circle at the hips. Keep the knees relatively still and see if you can get circles up around the pelvis. So you're doing that kind of moving in the back, but more circular now. So this is quite different to the next one we're going to do, which is circling around the wrists and the knees. So see if you can keep wrists and knees quite still. Sorry, I've got a tickle. And just circle around in the hips, so circling. And then circle the other way. Really nice deep breaths. And then this time move the hands out a little bit, knees out a bit, and make some wider circles. So you're swinging round. And your baby's on a bit of a roller coaster ride here, so you can just really swing round. Feel your tummy tightening and relaxing in response. Supporting your baby. One more circle that way. And then circle a few times the other way, rolling round. Feel your wrists, feel your knees. One more circle there. And then coming back onto all fours. Go back into child's pose, so feet touch, knees go wide and really sink back. Really drawing down. Reach the arms and have a stretch here by coming up onto the fingertips. Make sure there's enough room for baby between your legs. Lower your head down. Exhaling, sinking through the hips. Take another breath. And then slowly lower the hands, come up. And then from here, bring your knees together, tuck your toes under, sit back on your feet. So tuck the toes under and feel the pain in your feet, or feel the tightness in your feet starting to get stronger, starting to feel quite intense. And your first reaction, and because you're watching this as well, you could even just be stopping already at home, but stay with it. Don't come out of it, and just notice your reaction. See what's happening. See what you feel in your mind when you feel this intensity in your body. Notice your reaction, and now notice your breath. See if you can come back to that breathing again, where you inhale through your nose. Exhale, blow the breath out of the lips really slowly. Take a few more breaths, and I want you to see if you can, instead of trying to wait for this to be over, keep doing that really slow breath out of the lips. See if you can just accept that this is happening right now. See if you can just accept that this is uncomfortable, it hurts, it burns, it's really not pleasant, but you're not breaking, that you're okay, that you can breathe. And take another breath and see if you can just breathe through the intensity. A slow, deep breath. And then come off your feet and release them. So it's not pleasant, it's really unpleasant, but it's not impossible, and it will end. And that's the thing with the contractions, is they're really unpleasant, but they only go on for a minute. And in that minute, if you can learn to do that, if you can learn to just go with it, don't fight it, don't wait for it to be over, just go with it, just breathe into it. It ends much quicker than you'd expect. So come up and move the right foot in front of you. So we're going to do a lunge here. So bring your right hand up onto your knee. Make sure baby can come down inside your leg and sink down. And just feel this lunging stretch. Now again, if you feel like it's painful in the pubic bone, don't do this. Just miss this one out. I'll come to the next bits. If that's okay in your pelvis, just sinking down there. And then a little lunge back into a hamstring stretch. So move the left hand back, and if you need to use your cushion, your support, you can. And flex the ankle, point the toes up, and stick your bum out and feel that. And when you feel that tightness, that intensity in the body, breathe out. And you'll find you can go a little bit deeper. And then come forward, bring your hand down. And then from here, bring the right hand down, come onto the fingertips, and lean, and just take a twist here. So you're lifting the left arm up and feel this stretch through the left side of the body. And then lower the left hand down. Lean onto the hand, lean back to this space for baby, and reach the right arm up. Deep breath in. And then lower the right hand down. And then pull back again, another hamstring stretch. Feel the tightness. Exhale. Coming forward, and then slide the leg back, and from here cat and cow. So you're inhaling, you're exhaling. One more breath here, and then this time stretch the right leg out behind you, so the one that you were just working with, stretch it out, and then see if you can bring the left leg back as well. So coming into plank pose. It's hard work, but so good when you're pregnant to stay strong in the back and the belly. Bring the knees down and pull back. We'll do that a couple of times, and what you might notice already, so just pull back a little bit, is that you held your breath then. So can you breathe through the intensity of plank pose as well? Come forward, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and take a deep breath here. Blow out of the lips. Feel how your breath is getting deeper. Another breath. Blow out of the lips. Knees down. Stretch the left leg back. Push it back. And then bring the left foot forward. So you can step through like this, or you can come up and help your foot forward. Come forward, bring the right hand down and sink into this lunge. Really good opening for the pelvis. Just check it feels good in your back and your pelvis. And then from here, pull back, a little hamstring stretch. Notice if it hurts at all, if there's intensity, how do you react? Can you start to automatically respond by breathing deeper? Take another bend and pull back again. So as soon as you feel something strong in the body, intense, your automatic response is to take a deep breath. Come down, bring the left hand down onto fingertips inside and raise the right arm and feel the front of the belly stretch there on the right side, and then bring the right hand down and then twist and lean away a bit. Lean on the hand if you want to. Take a twist there, deep breath, and then lower the left hand. Come back, bring the left leg back. See if you can do plank pose again once more. So building up your strength. Deep breath, one breath here. Exhale. Lower the knees, tuck the toes. Come back onto the toes again. Another opportunity to notice your reaction so you know what's coming now. And really go into it. Can you relax? Can your mental state be one of curiosity? Can you be curious about how painful it could be? Can you be curious about how much it burns, how uncomfortable it is? And instead of waiting for it to be over, instead of tensing up, you relax your body, you sink deeper, you go into the sensation. You drop down a bit more. Take another couple of breaths. One more breath there. And then come down onto the hands, release the toes, turn both hands out to the edge of the mat, and then flip your fingers around. So this will now be very intense in the wrists and the hands. And again, just another opportunity to notice how do you react to intensity. Is the first thing you do just try and stop it, to try and minimize it, to try and hold your breath or wait for it to be over, because just start to make little circles here. This is where you notice your habit, your responses. If you can catch a habit now in pregnancy, your habit being, oh God, I can't do that, I can't handle it, I feel like I'm breaking. That's a mind state. So your body can give birth. Your body doesn't have an issue with these sensations. It's just feelings. It's your mind, it's your brain that actually creates the feeling of pain, because it's your brain that is telling you you can't handle it or you can handle it. So this is something you have control over, and that's the good news. It takes practice, but you can, with practice, just learn to feel different about the sensation. So go the other way, circling. So feel the intensity, and instead of fighting it, go with it. Instead of waiting for it to be over, be curious about it. Take another breath. And then see if you can peel your hands back. Sit back on the heels. Bring the arms up. So see if you can just sit on your feet there, sit on the heels. That might be quite intense. And draw the arms up. Take your right wrist and have a side stretch here. So really stretching out the right side. Then bring the left hand down. And see if you can really stretch a bit deeper, and then go a little bit more, sink into it. So good to really open out the rib cage and the lungs there. And then come back and release the right hand down. Bring your hands behind you, interlace, squeeze the palms. And then bring the arms up. Take the left wrist, pull it up. Feel the stretch in your feet as well as you pull yourself over. Feeling this nice big side stretch. Opening out the diaphragm and the breathing a bit more. Take another breath there. And then bring your hand down. Give a little push and a stretch into the left side of the body. Deep breath. And then slowly release down. So we're going to do a pigeon pose stretch here. So this is where you need your strap or whatever you're using instead. And if you have a strap, you can create a loop in it at the end, which is useful for this. So put it to the side of your mat. Coming into pigeon pose. So bring your right leg up, your right knee to your right hand, and shuffle your right shin forward. Bring your left leg back, and just check how your pelvis feels. If you feel any sharp pain in the front or the back of the pelvis, then this isn't a good idea to do this one. You're going to have to let this idea go, and you can do the toes tucked exercise instead. Yay. This is pigeon pose, and it can feel like a really nice opening stretch, but there will be a certain amount of intensity as well. So just see how that's feeling. And then if that's feeling okay, sit down onto your right hip and bend the back knee in. Get your loop, get your strap, put it over, or just wrap your scarf around your foot. And then bring your strap over your shoulder, and then send the leg down the mat again. Okay. Then as you go into pigeon, you're going to lasso your foot, so you're pulling your foot in. You've got the strap over your shoulder. So now you can start to go down. And you'll start to notice what we're doing now. So a big quad stretch. The quads get so tight in pregnancy. So this is going to be intense. And that's good, because it's a chance for you to practice, to notice your reactions. So sink down, and you can just hold the strap or lay your head down or put your head on the hands. And just see if you can pull your foot in as much as is manageable, so you feel a good bit of intense stretching happening. And then use your breath. And with each exhalation, see if you can relax physically, mentally relaxing, physically relaxing, and just being in this situation, being in this moment, being in this intensity without a fight, without concern, without fear. So often there's this underlying fear of, if I do this, I'll break. If I do this, something bad will happen. And see if you notice that, if that's something that is in you, because it'll come up for you in labor. So if you can work through it now, you'll feel so much safer, more resilient, more able to manage the intensity of labor when it comes. Another breath here. And then give the foot a little push. So keep hold of the strap, but push. So it's like the foot's trying to get out, just to realign, strengthen, and then release and let the strap go. And then pull back and just do a little back bend here. So lifting up, draw your chest up, and then sit down onto your bum again and draw your leg in, and then from here just stretch both legs out in front of you, leaning back, and just give the feet a little wiggle and paddle the legs until they feel like they're starting to come back to normal. Okay, second side. So come back onto all fours. So already just in these few minutes, you probably get a sense already of your mental habitual reactions to intensity. And that's really the important thing. That's what we're looking for. So bring the left knee forward, is noticing your reactions, working with them and starting to change them. So to actually literally change your state of mind around pain, around intensity, so that your attitude wants to be one of, bring it on. Like show me what you got. I can handle it. I'm not breaking. I can just breathe through it, and it will pass. That it's only a minute of intensity, and it will pass. You get a rest, and then the next one comes, and each time it comes, you just drop into it, breathe into it, go with it, don't fight it. So see if that feels okay on that side. Then sit down onto your bum, bend the knee so you can lasso your foot. Wrap the strap or the scarf round, pull it over your shoulder, and then stretch the leg out a bit so you can come back. It's a little awkward to get into, but it's so worth it, because there's certain things that will just really give us a strong reaction, and that's what we want to feel. So coming down, and just go, maybe here is fine. Rest your head on your arm, but as you go down, make sure you're not letting go of the strap. So you want to really do as much as you can. Go in as deep as you can manage so that you've got something to work with. And as you let go into the intensity, what you'll notice is it can actually get a little bit more intense at first. That when we tighten up and we hold back, there's a certain element of us feeling like we're holding it together, like it's not gonna get more intense. Then you let go, it gets slightly more intense, but then it gets easier. So see if you can feel that there's an initial intensity, and then as you exhale, there's a release and a letting go that comes as well. So another few breaths. Really observing what your physical feelings are, your mental reactions to them. Keep blowing out of the lips. So you're learning your habit, your default in your body will be, when I feel pain, I exhale. When it feels intense and hard to manage, I take a deep breath. That's what you want your habit to be. And then slowly let that go. And slide back, sit back. Bring your leg forward. Release the foot and just stretch out and give the legs a bit of a wiggle. And then from here you can draw your knees back in, sitting, so kneeling. And maybe putting the bolster or your stack of cushions under your bum again. And we'll just finish with the last bit of breathing. So bring your hands to your baby. And do a few sighs where you hear the sound of your own voice. So breathe in through the nose and now sigh the breath out. Letting the sound out of the body is such a good pain management technique as well. One more sigh, feeling your baby, feeling your body. So good luck with this, and I recommend just keep practicing as much as you can. You'll start to notice the difference. And when you're off your mat, when you stub your toe, when you get really emotional, you get upset, when you feel like you're getting really angry, when there's something intense is going on, use that as practice. Use it as an opportunity to notice your reactions. So when something intense happens, if you're like and fighting it and holding on and trying to hold it together, that's your habit. What you want to start to create is it gets intense and you just settle. And then it's a new habit set up for life as well. It's all good. So take care. Well done. Namaste.